police officer looked down at me, like I had already been judged. His voice was calm, but cold. "Sir, your wife says you've been stalking her." I blinked slowly. My hospital bracelet scratched against the blanket as I lifted my wrist. "Officer," I said quietly, "I've been in this hospital for 11 days. The room went silent. And in that moment, I realized something important. This wasn't just confusion. Someone wanted me to look guilty. The hospital room smelled like disinfectant. Clean, quiet, almost too quiet. A heart monitor beeped beside my bed. Slow, steady. Sunlight slipped through the blinds and stretched across the floor. Long golden lines. The kind of calm place where time feels slower. I had been admitted after collapsing at work. Nothing dramatic. Just exhaustion. That's what the doctors said. Years of stress finally catching up with me. My boss told me to take time off. Coworkers sent polite messages. "Get well soon. Take care." But the one person who barely called was my wife, Lisa. She visited only once. 10 minutes. That was it. She stood near the door the whole time, like she didn't want to stay long. "Hope you feel better," she said. Her eyes stayed on her phone. No hug, no warmth, just those 4 words. Then she left. I remember watching the door close and feeling something strange settle in my chest. Not anger, just distance. Like the life I thought we had was slowly fading away. Hospitals have their own rhythm. Morning rounds, nurses checking monitors, doctors speaking quietly in the hallway. I spent most of my time staring out the window, watching the highway, cars moving fast, people heading to work, living normal lives. It gave me time to think about the past few months. Lisa had changed. Short answers, late nights, her phone always locked. Whenever I asked questions, she brushed them off. "You're overthinking," she'd say. So eventually, I stopped asking. Sometimes pretending things are fine feels easier. 3 days into my stay, I met Officer Grant. But he wasn't the first officer who walked into my room. The first one looked young, nervous. He held a clipboard like it was a shield. He cleared his throat. "Sir, I need to ask you a few questions." I nodded. "Okay. Have you been in contact with your wife recently?" "Not much." "Have you followed her anywhere?" "No." "Have you been near her workplace?" I frowned. "You realize I'm admitted here, right?" He shifted his weight. "That's what we're verifying." Then he stepped outside. A few minutes later, another man walked in. Older, gray hair, sharp eyes. Officer Grant. He didn't accuse me. He looked around the room first. The 4 stand, the heart monitor, the medical chart. Then he looked at me. "Your wife filed a report yesterday," he said. "She claims you've been stalking her." I waited, thinking maybe there was more. "There isn't," he continued. "She says you've been following her car, waiting outside her office, watching her apartment." My voice came out quiet. "But I live there." Grant nodded slowly. I noticed that too. That was the first moment someone realized something was wrong. Grant pulled a chair closer to the bed. "How long have you been here?" he asked. 11 days. "And before that?" "Work, home, same routine." He leaned back. "Did your wife visit?" "Once." Grant didn't write anything down. He just listened. Sometimes silence says more than questions. The next morning, the whispers started. Nurses talking outside my door. Someone glancing at me strangely. Apparently the report had details. Lisa told police I had been watching her constantly. Standing outside restaurants. Driving behind her at night. Waiting near her office. It sounded dramatic. Almost like a movie. Except for one problem. Every moment she described, I was inside this hospital. Hooked to monitors. Recorded by medical logs. Nurse Sarah was the first person who spoke to me directly about it. She worked the evening shift. Kind eyes. Calm voice. The kind of person who had seen enough in life to stay steady. She checked my 4, then lowered her voice. I heard about the report. I sighed. So the whole floor knows. She smiled softly. Hospital gossip spreads fast. Then she tapped the tablet in her hand. But something about it doesn't make sense. I nodded. He noticed too. She looked at the screen again. Your check-in time. Your medication schedule. Your vitals. Then she looked back at me. You haven't left this bed long enough to stalk a vending machine. For the first time in days, I laughed. A small laugh. But it helped. Officer Grant came back 2 days later. This time he carried a folder. He placed it on the small table beside my bed. Your wife submitted more evidence, he said. He opened the folder. Photos. Grainy ones. A man standing near a car. Across the street from her office. Walking behind her in a parking lot. At first glance, it did look like me. Same height. Similar build. Similar jacket. But something fell off. Grant noticed it too. You see it, he asked. I leaned forward. That jacket. What about it? I don't know one like that. Grant nodded slowly. I checked your house this morning. That caught my attention. You did. Your wife gave permission. And no jacket like the one in these photos. Over the next few days, the tension slowly grew. Grant kept visiting, sometimes to ask questions, sometimes just to observe. He spoke with nurses. He checked hospital cameras. He reviewed timestamps. Every new detail added another crack in the story. Until one day, he asked me something unexpected. Would you attend a small meeting tomorrow? In the hospital? Yes. With your wife present. My chest tightened slightly. What kind of meeting? Grant closed the folder. The kind where the truth usually shows up. The next afternoon, the hospital conference room was full. Doctors, 2 police officers, a hospital administrator, and Lisa. She stood near the wall, perfectly calm, dressed like she was attending a business meeting. When our eyes met, there was no warmth, just distance. Grant stepped to the front of the room. Behind him, a projector hummed quietly. Thank you all for coming, he said. This situation involves a police report and hospital records. Lisa crossed her arms. I already explained everything. Grant nodded. You did? Then the lights dimmed. The first image appeared on the screen. One of Lisa's photos. The man standing near her car. This photo was taken Tuesday evening, Grant said. Lisa spoke quickly. That's him. Grant didn't react. He clicked the remote. The next image appeared. Hospital security footage. Timestamp. Tuesday evening. The screen showed me lying in bed. A nurse adjusting the monitor. Grant let the silence sit in the room. Then he clicked again. Another photo from Lisa. Another timestamp. Another hospital video. Again and again. Every moment she claimed to see me, the screen showed something else. Me. Right here. Inside the hospital. The room grew very quiet. Lisa's confident expression started to fade. Grant turned toward her. Would you like to explain this? She hesitated. For the first time. Well, maybe the times are wrong, she said. Grant shook his head. They came from your phone. Then another image appeared. A zoomed-in photo. Grant pointed to the screen. A tattoo. Small. Near the wrist. He looked at me. Do you have any tattoos? I slowly lifted my arms. Nothing. Grant clicked again. The final image appeared. A traffic camera still. The same man getting into a car. And standing beside him was Lisa. Not running. Not scared. Talking. Laughing. The room filled with quiet murmurs. Grant spoke calmly. This footage was taken 2 hours before the report. Lisa said nothing. She stared at the floor. Grant turned toward me. Would you like to say something? Everyone looked at me. I took a slow breath. Then another. My voice stayed calm. I never wanted anyone embarrassed today, I said. Not the police. Not the hospital. I paused. Not even my wife. Lisa shifted slightly. But respect matters, I continued. Truth matters. I've spent 11 days in a hospital bed. I didn't shout. I didn't panic. Because facts don't need volume. The room stayed quiet. Accusations carry weight. They affect real people. Real lives. I looked at Grant. And I'm grateful for the people who chose patience before judgment. Grant gave a small nod. The meeting ended soon after. Lisa left quickly. No drama. Just silence. Grant stayed behind. You handled that well, he said. I shrugged. Anger wouldn't have helped. He smiled. Not many people understand that. A week later, I was discharged. Walking outside felt different. The air felt lighter, like stepping into a new chapter. The legal process continued quietly. But for me, the lesson was already clear. Life tests your dignity in strange ways. Sometimes through betrayal. Sometimes through public embarrassment. But the strongest response is patience. Truth has its own timing. And when it arrives, it doesn't need shouting. I still think about that hospital room. The quiet machines. The sunlight through the blinds. The moment the truth appeared on that projector screen, not as a victory, but as a reminder. Character shows itself most clearly when you stay calm while the world misunderstands you. If this story resonated with you, let me know where you're watching from. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.